Today, we are packing my kit. Not my like tool kit with touring, it's not something that I bring along with me, but what I do bring along with me are the things that I need to get through the show. And I put them in a Pelican because it means they can be transported easily. And I haven't opened this since I closed it at the Art Centre in Melbourne, but it's time to go on to a new show. So let's go through it, see what's in there, repack it, take out stuff we don't need. Let's do some organizing. While it's on the ground and I'm gonna lift things up to show you, I also am using my GoPro. So there is an above view that hopefully you will be able to see. Let's get into it. This case itself is from Naught Cases. They make custom cases here in Queensland, and I had this Pelican made a few years ago for a drum mic kit. Since I've been doing theatre, I just haven't been touring a drum kit. So I have been using it for this instead. I just took the foam insert that I had made for it out and have been using it. But let's open this bad boy and see what's inside. So what we have here is chaos. When I said this is not my like tool kit, but this is my actual work in theatre kit, I really meant it. Some things that fell out of the kit or didn't fit into the kit, which hopefully we can fit back into the kit for this next show, is my office pair of sook workwear pants and one of the suits that I always take to work. My film camera or a couple of film cameras. I always keep a couple of these guys at work because if you haven't noticed, I've been uploading film photos onto my Instagram for content, and it's just like a really fun, beautiful way to be keeping content of the shows and keeping memories. I really love it. This one I got from Universal Store. And then also I have a keep cup. It's just a black keep cup. That is what I take to work, just so I have a keep cup. Keep cup, always a good move. So as soon as you get into the kit, you see my squished up mic kit. It has nothing in it at the moment, obviously. I'm not sure how much I'm actually going to use it on my next show. I'm really experimenting with the idea of using a vest, which is the next thing to come out of here. This is from my Kitco. I got this one because I was looking for a kit for HOSH that was waterproof, and Haley Thor had just gotten one of these for Hamilton, and I was like, that is amazing. So many compartments, it's clear so you can see inside it. I did a video about my essentials and tools, and in that I showed this kit. I will have it linked below so that you can go and have a look. I really love it. It's just big. There's just so many things you can carry with this. There's a shoulder strap as well, which I have, and there is just such a thing as carrying too many things. I don't like to have this much stuff on me when it's not needed, especially if I have a plot where I have to be moving around a lot. It just gets in the way, I find. Right, the next thing that comes out is a bag that should have these little patches in it that our head of props on Phantom, Ed, had made for everybody. These are the best, and I will find somewhere to put this one. I've got another one on the vest that I was talking about that I'm hoping to use for work. There's a couple of patches that I want to chuck on these, but I suck at sewing, so I'm waiting until I get to work so that someone who is more skilled than I am can help with this. It's just like a black utility vest that I'm hoping I can put all my stuff like in the pockets and hang my tape off it, and then I've just got everything on me. Like I don't have to worry about carrying around a bag, it getting in the way if I have to do any like on stage or side stage cues in my next show. So that one is staying. I have microfiber towels, all stray. Okay, we'll fold those soon. I've got Mood Octopus. I gave one of these to all of the cast members in Phantom for our opening in Sydney, so that if they ever wanted to have a silent mic up and they were having a bad day, they could just leave it on this guy and we would just come in and mic them up and not bother them, which ended up being really helpful. Oof, I've got all of my plots from all of the shows I've done in this folder, which should probably just go into some kind of office storage, to be honest. I've got Hamilton plots, I've got Come From Away plots, I've got HOSH plots, and of course all the plots from Phantom as well. Next show will go in here as well. I need a better folder for this, but again, I don't think this needs to be in here necessarily. Maybe the blue folder that had my Phantom plots in it, but I'll end up getting a whole bunch of more plot folders and things like that for the next show. So maybe this one doesn't need to go back in the kit. Maybe I can chuck that one into storage. We have a coloring book. This seems unnecessary, but it's actually the best. I was so skeptical of coloring in and of that as a general adult activity to do. I was really busy being a judgy bitch about it. But then when we were on Phantom, Lexi started bringing in coloring books, and it's actually kind of the perfect activity to do backstage. If you've ever been backstage or worked backstage, you'll know that there are times in between when you are needed where there is downtime, especially in tech, especially in rehearsals, where you're not doing anything, but you are literally just standing by to stand by, but you still need to be ready to go at any point in time, or you can't get too involved in something that you're doing. I find it really hard to read backstage, and I know that a lot of people can do that, because if I get too invested in the book and then I have to go go do a cue or fix something, I get mad about it. But coloring in I found was actually a really easy one to do. I like to edit sometimes videos backstage if I'm in between big cue points, but this was a really easy way to not get distracted and to stay in the show, but to still entertain myself so my brain's still working, because otherwise my brain starts to shut down and then I become stupid, so that then there's a problem and I don't know how to fix it. So that one's definitely staying in there. I've got a couple of different notebooks just for notating things, which is super helpful. I do write a lot of stuff down in my Notion and in my phone, but just having notebooks is really handy. This one was given to me on opening by Shelley Lee. It has my name on it. So those are definitely staying in there. We have some water bottles. I have 2 in here. I've got a Hamilton one, which has seen better days, and my emotional support water bottle. I have 2 of the exact same water bottle because I have one for home so that I remember to actually be a hydrated person, and I love that bottle so much, but I was sick of transporting it to and from work, so I got the same bottle to take to work. This one has my work stickers on it. It has this really cool chandelier one that one of the guys at Phantom made. I think Mungo made this one. A team morale, because Blake is the true leading man of my soul. So those are definitely staying in. Maybe not the Hamilton one. I don't really need 2, so maybe one of these can stay out. Now for stray items. I've got a whole bunch of skin colored Copic markers for painting on mics. I think there's a couple more in here actually. These are mostly the ones that I keep on me at all times because I just find they're super helpful for most skin tones and for hair as well. Those will definitely be staying. I then have a whole bunch of textures to go with the coloring in book. Maybe I need a pencil case. That seems like it would be a smart move, but usually I'll end up just keeping these in like a cup or a tub or something on the mic desk. So also maybe not. Maybe I can just fit this in gaps in the kit to save space. I have some colored Sharpies. I've got greens, blues, golds, ones that won't get stolen because they're not black. Then we're getting to some important things. First of all, my little gold gecko that Tom 3D printed for me on Phantom. He's so cute. I've got a couple of these guys, but it just stays in my kit. There's a lot of work trinkets in here, which are also equally as important as the not work trinkets. I've got band-aids that are of many skin tones, which is so sick. I just have a whole bunch of those in my kit usually to make sure that if anyone gets hurt backstage that I've got band-aids ready to go, aka me while I'm building mics and I stab myself. Bandages, these are usually for me in bump in or bump out. I end up hurting or getting like a weak ankle. One of my ankles is garbage, so this is for me when I need to start strapping my ankles or wrists. We've got more markers. We've got a black, a yellow, and a purple. Effervescent immunity booster tablets. These, I'm entirely sure, are the reason that I managed to get through any amount of work. I will have one of these in the morning when I get to work. First of all, inspires my brain to continue drinking water, which if you don't struggle with that, love that for you, but I am not a water drinking human. I've always really struggled with that because it's just not fun. It's just not fun. These are elderberry flavor. These are delicious. There are lots of other tablets like these, but these ones slap. Get the Sambucol ones. Do not bother with the other ones. They taste like trash. These are delicious. Adapters to plug in my phone to play music to things. More stickers. I always keep a charger for my laptop and for my phone at work, just so I don't have to transport them back and forth. I spend most of my time, like 50 hours of my week, at work, so I just make sure that I have these there so I don't have to carry them with me, and because I use them so much, so it's good to have 2. A little Phantom tote bag in here, which is very cute. I have my Mr. Pointy that Jen Morgan made me. This is for parting hair. I use it a lot too, because I usually use my nails to part hair because I have long nails, but I do use this a lot to part between the elastic on toupee clips to put them on mics. Got some more pens, black Copic marker. This is my torch, which slaps. Let me show you the color options. So we've got white, red, green, blue. Are you joking? So much fun. I love this. I don't really use it that often backstage, I'm not gonna lie to you, but in bump in and bump out, it is super handy. Electrical tape, who is surprised? Packets and packets of hot hands. I love hot hands. If you're in a particularly cold theater or while I was outside on HOSH, these are amazing. The packets are crinkly, so I'm trying not to move them too much. Crack and shake these guys and they become hot and you can just slip them into your pockets. If you do a job where you touch people a lot and it's cold, you need to get this. Once people are like super sweaty, they might enjoy the fact that you have cold hands, but at first, nobody wants your cold, freezing, lack of circulation ass hands on their body. Why do I know this? From personal experience. That's how, because I have freezing hands, so those are a necessity. I've got a couple more chargers for things. This one actually fits my camera, and I've been looking for it, so that's good. More electrical tape, glasses cleaner. This is literally just random shit at this point. More electrical tape. I have a little chopping board. This is the best thing that I have put in my kit. It is useful as a plate. It is useful as a chopping board. And if you need something at work to use that for, that is amazing. Get one. Also, I don't have them in here because I lost them at the art center, but get cutlery. Get your own set of cutlery. Do not let anyone use them because they will never come back to you. That is something that you need to be so aggressive about. Do not share cutlery. Absolutely not. You will never get it back. I promise you. We have some more little trinkets in here. I've got my high vis, which is disgusting, and I really want to get a new one because yellow is nasty. Look at that, even more electrical tape. I've got a box of rat tests. We are still rat testing and doing PCRs in theatre. On Phantom, we were rat testing once a week. If we ever got sick or felt like shit, we would do a rat test just so we knew that we weren't bringing COVID into the building. I've also got fairy lights. There is probably a better way to transport these, but I have a whole bunch of fairy lights so that I can hang them up in my office space because fairy lights create the vibe. Nobody wants the big overlight head. I will usually have some other kind of lighting, but these are the ones that I had in the art center, which I took with me. The art center, we were in a dressing room, so we had the like dressing room lights, which was super cool. These will be a necessity for whatever office I am in next. I've got a couple of little trinkets that were gifts from Emily on shows. I've got this rose, which she gave us for the opening of Phantom. I have this little Phantom mask, which she gave me on the opening of HOSH, which is so cute. She brought these home. And then there's also this other one that she gave us, which she's always got one of these like waving lucky cats on her desk. So she gave all of us one. And he has a little Phantom mask. Isn't it cute? So we've got one of those as well. It is solar powered or like light powered. So it gets so annoying because the arm clicks and it just goes off sometimes. So sometimes I cover that with blue tack so he cannot wave. That is the kit empty. So now to decide what goes back in. Going back into the kit is the chopping board, very important. Actually, you know what will probably go in better first? Also, coloring book and plots is going back in. This one fits right in the bottom. Well, kind of. It'll fit. Then we've got our chopping board to go back in. I'm gonna chuck all of the textures in the little side part because they can be broken down pretty small, as well as my pens, Sharpies, Copic markers, all that stuff. I'm leaving out the Hamilton bottle, but I'm keeping my other emotional support water bottle. And that guy's got to go in pretty soon because otherwise it will not fit because she's thick. Books, COVID tests, they're staying in. I'm hiding electrical tape everywhere that it fits. I do not need this much electrical tape, but we will see how I feel in bump in because I probably will need it. Even more electrical tape, you guessed it. Bandages coming with, actual Band-Aid bandages coming with, torch staying. Charger is of course staying. Sambucol, effervescent immunity support stuff, staying. All my little charging things, they are also staying. Various little trinkets, staying. The cat I have to fit in here somewhere. No, he's good there. The high vis I'm leaving out. I don't need this one. I'm gonna get a better one. That one can go in the bin forever. My keep cup, staying. Oh, also this is the fresco one. This one slaps because the top has like a closing stick up lid buoy, which is so good. Usually they're open and you don't have a chance to close the top. These ones are so secure and so safe and just amazing. Get the fresco ones. Little tote bag, staying. You never know when that's gonna come in handy. My tiny little towels. Honestly, they could probably use a wash, but I will ask wardrobe to do that for me when I wash some belts. They are going in. Also, of course, as well as all of this, I take like food. I'm gonna give you like a whole video on meal prep and what I take to work soon once we're back into the swing of the season, so you can see exactly what I take to work every week because I harp on and on and on about taking food and meal prep to work. If you haven't been able to gather, I've struggled to maintain like a healthy relationship with food, so that is why it's so important to me. And then also like my laptop, my cameras, things like that, depending on what I'm doing that day. And also sometimes I will take like a book, as well as a blanket blanket, usually a show one. I'll usually get a show one and leave it at work, and a pillow. Fairy lights are going back in, but I'll leave them to last because they can be put in under anything. Octopus is staying, you can go back in. My work kit, I'm gonna take it even though I don't plan on hopefully using it, just because I've got it there and it might be helpful for production period. Hot hands is 100% staying. I don't know if the theatre that we're gonna be in is going to be cold or not. And my vest is coming with, obviously, and then fairy lights. And that's it. That's the kit, ready to go to the theatre. There are other things I will add once we are in the show and up and going and planning on doing an office tour, so you will see the things that I've added and the things that I have taken with me to work outside of this stuff. But for now, this is the kit, ready to go, and the only thing left to do is to take it to work.